Whatever your vibe is, we are going to still make sure financially we are peak this year, because no more mess ups, no more giving up midway. We are getting our money right this year.
26 basic financial lessons to start off 2026. Hi there. If you don't know me, my name is Oria Chilwani. I chat everything personal finance and a little bit of lifestyle just here and there.
Now, the year has already started, and you're probably thinking, how am I going to sort out my money? How am I going to do better than 2025? New Year's resolutions. Or you're like other people and you're like, just going to go with the flow. Whatever your vibe is, we are going to still make sure financially we are peak this year, because no more mess ups, no more giving up midway. We are getting our money right this year.
Lesson number 1: automate your finances. This is something you've probably heard thousands of times, but the lesson stands true and is really useful. And I'm going to tell you how it's helped me in my life and just some practical ways that it can help you in yours. Firstly, in 2026, we are not making any manual payments for recurring expenses, investments, and saving. Here's why. Anxiety. Firstly, you have to type that number, and you know the number I'm talking about because you know your expenses. And then you have to click approve payment. The anxiety, because you know that your mind is saying you could buy so many other things with this money, even though it is a necessity that you use that money on that expense. Your mind will be like, but why? Like, you really could be doing anything else. You could buy takeout, whatever tickles you and makes you feel good about spending money. You could be doing that instead of making this necessary payment. Now, by automating this, you are removing that anxiety. You're just leaving it to be done by technology, and you just have that it's done feeling. The payment is made, the money is gone, and you're not going to budget with that money or try to, find room with that money, because you know that debit order or that scheduled payment has to go off on this date around this time, so you cannot touch that money or else it will cause a weird system crash out. I don't know, like if you don't have enough money for your debit orders or scheduled payments, you don't know which one is not going to get paid, and you can't afford to be playing a guessing game. So yeah, that is essentially why we are not making those manual payments this year. Now, a practical example in my life how automating my finances really became a game changer. In 2025, I did something that was different to what I had done in the previous year, because I didn't want another year where I'm looking at my bank accounts, my investments, and I'm like, nothing improved, nothing was better. Like, obviously I'm trying to do better, but I'm also human and I succumb to my weaknesses of food and wanting to have experiences and hang out with my friends, and those things cost money. Like, they really cost money. But I wanted a different ending. So I did two things. And in this example, if you're not convinced to automate, then I don't know. I decided that 1, I'm going to send money manually to a specific account to save every month. 2, I opened up an investment that was going to be a debit order every month for an amount that I knew could be disposable income, so that I could start my investment journey better. At the start of the year, everything was going well. I was actually making my payments. Life was not getting the better of me. But lives. And I don't know how to word that better, but you know what happens. It happens, and the emergencies come up, car maintenance, you realize you don't have enough from your normal salary, you need to pull from your savings. Life just lives. And I found myself debating whether I should pay myself, which, if I had automated, would have gone off regardless of how I felt, this money into my investments that could really help me in the future, or just be used for something that I'd want to do later on in the year. Or I should just use this money for this, because I already have my spend money, but it wasn't enough. It didn't feel like it's enough. And that happened. That's where I was like, I'm not budgeting correctly. I'll just start saving next month. And the story of next month became next month and next month. And we got to the end of the year and there was barely anything saved from my side where I had tried to keep myself accountable. Now, the difference with this story is that my automated investment went off every single month. When I thought of that investment, my view of that money wasn't that it was money available. It was another debit order that I couldn't touch, that was going to go off, and I needed to make sure there was money in my bank account so this debit order does not bounce. And at the end of the year, I actually invested more than I have in my entirety of my few years of starting my financial journey. And I ended the year more than I could have actually imagined, because you know what happens with investments: compound interest. The stock market does what the stock market does, and I love it when it's green, and it did exactly that. So I ended up with even more money that I invested, and I was actually smiling at the end of the year. So yes, I hadn't saved what I wanted to save on my own, but my investment, because it was automated, I actually reached the goal that I had in mind, and that was a game changer. So now you can see the two mentalities when you're trying to do it yourself versus when it's automated. When it's automated, there's just this shift in how you look at that money, and that game changer is what can actually really help you reach your financial goals. So I hope my story on 2025 really encourages you to automate your finances this year, because trust me, you want to have a better year. We all do. We all want to say this was my year, even though we know what happens when you say that. But you know, this is our year financially. We are doing better. We are going to reach greater heights, and it's our money year. If there's something you can do in 2026, really automate your finances and have a better 2026. So that is my lesson number 1 on 26 basic financial lessons to start off your 2026.